Thank you, Allison. It's my pleasure to welcome all of you to this convening of the Elder Justice Coordinating Council. I'm particularly happy to welcome the Council for the first time to the Department of Justice. Since some of you are new to the building, I want to talk a little bit about this space. The building was dedicated 90 years ago in 1934 with President Roosevelt in attendance. During the Clinton and Bush administration, it underwent a massive renovation, but the architects went to great lengths to ensure that the building, including this great hall, retained its historic integrity. In 2001, it was rededicated and renamed the Robert F. Kennedy Building. There's a bust of the former Attorney General on the stage. In this hall, we are surrounded by, of all things, teller windows, or I should say former teller windows. Decades ago, this is where Justice Department attorneys went to get their pay in cash. Before you ask, that was long before my time. But times have changed, and the department has changed along with them. As this group well knows, elder justice is another area that has required us to adapt. When the Elder Justice Coordinating Council had its inaugural meeting more than 10 years ago, we could not have known of the environment we would be operating in 10 years later. Back then, artificial intelligence, that was just sci-fi. Now it's shaping some of the greatest opportunities, but also the greatest risks for elder Americans. Fortunately, our agencies have the wisdom to anticipate that no matter what the future held, our best tactic for combating elder abuse would be working together. And that is just what the Elder Justice Coordinating Council has ensured. Every year, millions of older adults experience some form of elder abuse, neglect, financial exploitation, or fraud. We know that the vast majority of elder abuse cases go unreported, and that too many victims remain unseen. That is why the department has aggressively targeted perpetrators of elder fraud and abuse while providing victims with the support they need. In the last 5 years, the Justice Department has pursued more than 1,500 criminal and civil cases involving conduct that targeted or disproportionately affected older adults. We have provided services to more than 1.5 million older victims, and we have returned hundreds of millions of dollars to elder fraud victims. The Elder Justice Coordinating Council has played a key role in that work. Today, the Council is a critical vehicle for information sharing and coordination among the federal agencies in their efforts to address elder abuse and fraud. This has not only enabled us to stay informed of important developments in the field, it has also enabled our agencies to support and amplify each other's work. In recent years, the Council has enhanced the reach of the Justice Department's mass mailing fraud prevention initiative, as well as the Social Security Administration's Slam the Scam Day awareness campaign. This February, the Justice Department, with the support of the Council, held the inaugural National Elder Justice Law Enforcement Summit. This event brought together local, state, and federal law enforcement to help foster collaboration, both among departments with elder justice professionals and with elder justice professionals. We know these partnerships make a huge difference in combating despicable crimes against older Americans. The Coordinating Council has also become an important tool for coordinating with the people we serve. The Council has raised public awareness of a wide variety of issues, including novel elder fraud schemes and promising research on elder abuse. Threats to elder justice are constantly evolving. Our partnerships have never been more important. As we confront the expansion of transnational fraud schemes and the rapid advancement of AI, we must work together to make sure that older Americans can live their lives safely and with dignity. I am confident that this Council will continue to meet the challenges and advance the cause of elder justice, just as it has done for more than 10 years. Thank you.
Thank you so much to Attorney General Garland, and thank you to everyone here at the Department of Justice for hosting us in the Great Hall. It truly adds gravitas to the work that we're doing together, the important work that we all bring to the table together, and it is a really grand way to celebrate a decade of incredibly hard work. I hope that everyone here in the room and everyone who's joining us online can really get a feel of the atmosphere. I think there is a real optimism and commitment, and I'm really looking forward to the next several hours together. As I look across the table here, across all the departments and the agencies in this administration, you can feel the real urgency around the issues that matter to older adults. I personally see this every day when I come into work at the Administration for Community Living and in the actions of each of our agencies, all 16 that are represented here today, including, of course, Attorney General Garland's Department of Justice. And as you'll hear today, efforts to advance elder justice have both a significant history with incredible champions, with many of those who we will be hearing from and honoring today. But I really want to give a push to all of us because we are at an incredible moment in time. We have the wind behind our back with an administration that has made this a priority, with the visibility of our issues, and we have an incredible opportunity to both build off the legacy that we will honor today, but extend our gains to reach hard and go well beyond what was imaginable when the council was formed more than a decade ago. Before we proceed to the program, I want to carry out one of my important duties as the delegated chair, which is welcoming each of the council members and delegates to this meeting. And again, I want to thank you for being here today, both my colleagues from across the federal government and the people in this room. And I really want to say that each of you are here today because of our common goal and our common shared value of ending elder abuse and neglect. And I want to acknowledge that that is a heavy responsibility for each of us as council members to fulfill our purpose of advancing the cause of elder justice, because it is an unfortunate truth that our society does not always provide the opportunities it should for everyone to stay fully engaged and connected to their communities throughout their life. And this disconnection leaves people who are our family members, our neighbors, our community, at increased risk of experiencing maltreatment. But together, we can work as change agents. The council meetings and all of the important work that happens in between really highlight our all-of-government approach, a use every tool in our toolbox kind of approach to advancing elder justice. And I can say, as someone who joined the Biden-Harris administration on day one, elder justice has been a priority. At this point in time, it's right to pause, to celebrate the incredible vision from a little more than 10 years ago, to feel good about our accomplishments, and then to seize the moment, to really think about what our next 10 years can and should look like, and to be strategic and think about how we seize the momentum to achieve even more. I know we won't be able to get through all of that in one meeting, but in the coming weeks and the coming months, as we chart our course forward, I really encourage everyone on this council to think big and bold. So now I have the pleasure of giving every coordinating council member 1 minute, seriously guys, 1 minute, to introduce yourselves, and as we go around, to please share your name, title, and very briefly share 1 or 2 initiatives that you oversee or a quick recap of a recent accomplishment. And I'll take the privilege of starting first for HHS and mention ACL's Office of Elder Justice and Protective Services. This office not only helps